I wanted to remotely control the dust collectors that I use when I'm doing woodworking in my garage. This Delta dust collector is ordinarily connected to the table saw or the jointer, and the shop vac is ordinarily connected to a router or a planer. So you can see, there's my little cyclonic dust collector with a 40-gallon capacity. But the worst is when you're working on the table saw and you need to constantly turn these things off and on. And since there's some distance involved, I made a switch. I used an old extension cord, and I just created a small box out of 1/2-inch plywood, adding some magnets on the back so that I can attach it wherever I want. I left the extension cord pretty long so I could use it in other situations, but you can see it goes to a 3-prong plug here, which has these 2 machines connected to it. On the other end, it goes under a mat and then around the shop to a different wall outlet. That way I can have the dust collectors running on a different circuit than the machines. Here you can see how the 4 layers of 1/2-inch plywood stack up. The top one has a kind of indentation in the top for the switch to pass through and a 1/2-inch hole. The second one has a cavity that you need for the body of the switch. And the third layer has a larger cavity for the purpose of doing your wiring. Notice how it's got a gap to allow the wires to come in and out. I did in fact use some hot glue to fix the wires in there and secured them pretty well. This was all glued together. It was a one-time thing. Otherwise I'd take it apart and show you the inside. On the bottom I used some Forstner bits and created some small indentations where I added some powerful magnets. And they don't slip when you turn the switch off and on, which I was a little surprised how good they work. So the diagram is that from the wall circuit, you've got 3 wires in that extension cord. Usually they're green, white, and black. Black is the live wire, so it's the one that's going to be controlled by the toggle switch. So now I have the ability to turn my dust collectors off and on when I'm working at the table saw.